Okay, this video right here is probably one of the most important videos you'll ever watch about copywriting for e-commerce email marketing. I've generated over $20 million in email marketing. And then today I'm going to dive into every single thing you need to know about copywriting for e-commerce email marketing. Every single strategy, market research, design processes, all of those things are extremely important to create copy that actually resonates and generates a lot of revenue. So with that being said, let me dive right into this masterclass right here about copywriting for e-commerce email marketing. So what we've got on the agenda today, first things first, I'm going to dive into the mistakes to avoid that I see all the time. Second, I'm going to dive into how to conduct market research. Third, the rule of one. Fourth, subject line mastery. Fifth, how to actually create copy for e-commerce email marketing. Sixth, best copy to design process, because in most cases, you'll be working with a graphic designer to create those emails. So this copy to design process needs to be dialed in. Seventh, useful copywriting frameworks. And then eighth, a bonus, I'm going to share with you the actual AI prompt we use at the agency to create amazing copy in 10 seconds, literally. So yeah, let me dive right into the first point, which is the mistakes to avoid. Now, first one, which is extremely, this is the biggest one I'd say, is overcomplicating copy. Especially for e-commerce email marketing, the copy needs to be concise and straight to the point. You don't need to sound smart or anything like that. It's not long form copy. It's actually the simplest, I'd say one of the simplest copies to create is just email copy. I'm going to dive into other concepts later, but overcomplicating copy is one of the biggest mistakes right here. Second, which goes hand in hand with the previous mistake right here, is too much information. So having too much info in one single email will actually scare customers and prospects, and they basically close your email because it's a bunch of information right there, okay? Third, too many words. Again, with e-commerce email marketing, the more concise, the better, right? If you have a novel, a wall of text in your email, people just don't read. They're not going to read that. So they just close the email. Fourth, not relevant to where the customer is in the journey. The email you send to a prospect, someone who has not purchased from your brand, is different than the email you send to someone who has purchased already or who has purchased multiple times, or someone who purchased already, but they haven't purchased in a while. So churn customers, right? So make sure segmentation is on point. Again, I'm going to cover this later, but the copy needs to be relevant, right? Another very important thing is understanding your customer audience. And that's where, like, for example, having zero-party data collection or market research, which I'm going to cover later, is so important because you can create copy that's actually relevant and resonates with your audience, all right? Fifth, boring. Just having dull copy, which sounds either robotic or just boring, it's not going to do your brand favors when it comes to this right here, right? So some examples of, for example, having too much copy here. Like in this email right here, for instance, right? You've got your products and then you've got a wall of text here to describe what this is. Plus, this is graphic based. This is an image. So one is super small on mobile, has nothing to do with copywriting, but still. And then two, again, it's a wall of text about a specific product. Instead of doing this, you could be more either use fewer words or you can have infographics, right? Like a checklist or diagrams, whatever, to convey the unique selling points of those products and what they do, instead of like having, again, a bunch of text in there. Same thing here. Well, this is kind of a text-based email, but at the same time, I just feel like it's, I don't know, it's too much stuff. Same thing here, a bunch of copy, HTML copy. So again, too much info, too much overcrowded copy. Instead, if you're going to use like graphic-based emails, again, make sure you have fewer words, and then you can utilize, for example, illustrations, infographics, etc., instead of like having a block of text like this one right here, right? So some examples of the things you shouldn't do, right? So these are the main mistakes. Again, it all comes down to overcomplicating copy and making sure that your copy is concise and to the point, instead of like thinking that the more copy you give the customer or the prospect, the more chances they have to convert, which is not the case whatsoever, right? So overcomplicating copy, too much info, too many words, not relevant, big one, and then boring copy. These are the main mistakes, which I'm gonna again tackle on a different in this video right here, what to do instead. All right. Now, this solution, as I mentioned before, keep your copy 50 to 100 words long for design emails. This is not text-based emails, which is another whole different story. These are graphic-based emails. Make sure that they are 50 to 100 words long max in most cases. Even shorter for some emails we send, for example, they're like 35 words long, right? Second, as I mentioned before, use infographics, illustrations whenever you can, instead of, again, having a wall of text. So you can use timelines, tables, charts, I don't know, like a product highlight, things like that actually are more, they're easier to consume than a wall of text. Third, segment properly. So you've got prospects, customers, VIPs, churn customers, etc., etc., etc. So make sure that when you send emails, the copy you send to them is actually relevant. Of course, some of the emails can be sent to multiple segments at the same time, but sometimes if you send an email to a customer, make sure that you might as well acknowledge they're a customer already, and that actually you resonate more with them, essentially, right? Fourth, sorry. So be witty, charismatic, fun, if your brand allows so, right? Which most brands actually do. So might as well utilize your wittiness and just overall making sure the copy you create is fun, and then I don't know, like it's not boring, pretty much, right? People are there to consume your content, so whether it is educational or not, make sure that again you make it easier for them. Okay. Now, how to conduct market research. So this is a big one because, again, as I mentioned before, if you understand your customer to the T, then it's going to be way easier to create copy that actually speaks to them directly and just make it, it's just easier overall, right? So first things first, we've got the Facebook ads library, obviously. So if you go, let me see. So yeah, let's say for the sake of this example right here, you sell pet supplements, right? So you could just type in, let's just a quick example here. If you have, for example, a competitor, you could put your competitor right there directly, or let's say just put pet supplements in general. You'll be able to see what the odds, obviously, let's go to the US, just to make it easier for you as well. So it's in English for the most part, right? So, you'll see what types of angles are utilized by other competitors in your space or things like that, or even like affiliates, things like that. And then you'll be able to essentially see what pain points are utilized the most to convey your product. So for example, in this case, you can see it supports growing joints and bones. If that's an angle that you see multiple times across the board here with multiple ads, then you can utilize that for your emails and stuff like that, and of course for your ads if you're running paid ads as well. But then you'll be able to see a bunch of things here again from other competitors or just affiliates and things like that. And this is extremely useful no matter what you sell, right? So this is the first actually source of info of market research we do is just go to the ads library. It's free. And then you'll be able to see again what ads are being used, again, different angles, unique mechanisms, things like that. All right. And then this will give you also an idea of what two products potentially launch on the market, right? As well. Has nothing to do with copywriting, but this is a huge advantage as well. So that's the first one, is Facebook ads library. This is where you can collect the info. Other one, which is a big one, is competitors' email list. So let me show you exactly what one of my email inboxes look like. So for example, here I've got a sweep file for a bunch of brands I follow. And this is just one inbox. This is something you should definitely do if you're in a specific market or not, to be honest. Of course, I've got a bunch of brands from different industries and things like that. But let's say, again, you're selling pet supplements. You could just subscribe, for example, to Finn, right? They sell pet supplements. Subscribe to their email newsletter, and then basically see what they're, again, same principle, see what angles they're utilizing, see what content they like to promote and things like that, right? I cannot tell you how important this is for email ideation, but also to, again, do some market research and see if, for example, this is quite a big brand, right? They probably already know what their customers are looking for. And if you sell a similar product, then you might as well just steal that info in a sense, and then just utilize that for to your advantage, right? So bunch of emails here that you can, again, just get some inspo every day. This is what I do every single day for my clients, is go in here and see what other brands are doing. So very, very straightforward and very, very powerful. So competitors' email list. Third, reviews, Shopify, Amazon. So if I go to a product page here, let's say this is my brand, right? Where are the reviews here? So what we do actually is, of course, you can take a look at this directly, see what the best reviews are and what they say, and also the worst reviews, so you can improve your products. And again, understand why customers didn't like your product for in that specific instance, and then iterate that and see exactly like what angles you can take out of that, right? And something we do actually is we use AI as well. So let's say you what we do is we copy like 3 pages of reviews from either Shopify or Amazon. It could be your product or it can be a competitor's product, right? And then we use this prompt. Above, you can see a bunch of 5-star reviews for our product, right? Please summarize the 10 most common things the customers say, the benefits they experience particularly. I cannot tell you how important this is, how powerful this is, because this is going to allow you to understand exactly what your customers are looking for, right? And yeah, take that info and then create email copy that actually resonates with that specific audience, to that specific pain point or motivation, goal, whatever it is, okay? Third one is competitor reviews. So it basically goes hand in hand with the reviews. It could be Shopify or Amazon, Quora, and Reddit. So if you go to Reddit and then, for example, I type in pet supplements, you'll see a bunch of like different conversations that people are having. And then you'll be able to see all the comments as well, right? And then again, just identify specific pain points you can utilize. But this is very powerful as well. We actually use it all the time because people have like genuine conversations, and these are like your actual potential customers, what they're looking for, etc., etc., etc. Okay. And then finally, we use AI as well here, prompting. So we use, for example, this is a prompt we use all the time. Describe the customer who would buy pet supplements in this case. Describe their age, their looks, what they wear, what they do for a living, what hobbies they have, what the most common pain points they experience of the day, what they secretly desire, and their day in life. Very, very powerful. I think I used it here, right? And then, for example, in this case, we're using Claude, but you'll see a great summary of what these potential customers look like. And again, you can customize your copy according to this right here. Hobbies and interests, pain points, secret desires. Of course, this is not perfect. Like secret desires, wishes to quit corporate job to open a pet-related business. Not really sure, but could be. You know what I mean? But these will give you a great insights. All right, next we've got the rule of one. So what this is about, then this is, if there's something you can take from this video, is just making sure that your emails follow the rule of one. So what is this? Well, it means that with every email you send, you should only focus on one angle, one offer, one idea, one takeaway, sorry. So one thing, okay, just please do this. Instead of like having multiple CTAs, multiple ideas, angles, offers inside one email, keep it simple. Keep it stupid simple. As I mentioned before, people don't read. So make sure that your emails follow just one idea, one offer, right? Here, one offer. And this is the email, very short and sweet, right? Prime Day, magic spoon here, one thing, just one email, very straightforward. One email with one angle. That's pretty much it. I've seen many times like an email with like 5 different angles, 5 different ideas, CTAs, takeaways. Again, if you want to convey a message, might as well break down that specific email with 5 different angles into 5 different emails with one angle inside of it. I can guarantee you If you follow this rule alone, it'll basically explode your email sales because people, again, don't read, and you don't wanna. You just wanna focus on one idea, and then go hard on that specific angle you wanna go for, right? But again, as I mentioned before, with email copy, 50 to 100 words long max. So yeah, one angle, one offer, one idea, one takeaway. This is the rule of one. And if you can focus on one thing from this video, is this one right here. Okay. Now, moving on, we've got the subject line mastery. So how to create subject lines and preview text that actually get open. Now, well, I copied this from the previous slide, so ignore that. But first things first, get personal. Really important. And here, I'm not just talking about only using the first name. You can use also order numbers, item sizing, for example, and last names. This is pretty cool. If you can, of course, if they place an order, you can use their last names here. Second, segmentation. Make sure you're sending emails to an engaged segment. If you're blasting emails to a bunch of uninterested folks who never open them, you're just spinning your wheels and you'll see a super low open rate. This is not exactly like subject line mastery. This is more segmentation, but this is extremely important. You don't want to send emails to people who never open them. Doesn't make any sense. Third, keep it relevant. As I said, segmentation is the secret sauce. Now, make sure the content you send is actually relevant, the segment you're targeting. And this is a concept I covered before as well. When it comes to like email copy in general, sending out of context emails is a surefire way to make sure your audience feels like they're just another number. So you've got prospects, they have not ordered yet. New customers, one order for all time. Active customers and VIPs, 2+ orders. And lapsed customers, right? You've got your 4 main segments right there. Fourth, your subject line is your headline. Your subject line is not a summary of your email's content. And that's a mistake I see way too many marketers making. Your subject line's job is to entice people to open your email, to try to pique their curiosity. If you can, use numbers, clickbaity titles, etc., statistics, things like that. Your emails actually sell the click, and the landing page, the product page, does the selling. Really important. Like most people think like the email actually does the selling, is the landing page that does. The email sells the click, all right? Fifth, final point is mix it up. Try these pattern breaking techniques. So capitalization, have fun with it and switch it up. It could be uppercase, etc., based on what your competitors are doing. If you see, for example, that most of your competitors are using uppercase, use lowercase. You know what I mean? Things like that. Emojis, use them sparingly. Of course, depends on your brand. And then length. If again, same thing. If you see your competitors are mostly using like shorter subject lines, use longer ones, or the other way around as well. Subject lines are, again, just like copy, very, very often overcomplicated. But as long as you have great content, and then you send great content across the board for many, many months, people will love opening your emails. That's kind of the biggest thing I can tell you, right? That, and also, again, making sure you don't send emails to unengaged segments, people who will never open your emails, right? Very important. Now, let's dive into the kind of the actual sauce of this video right here is how to write great copy for e-commerce email marketing. Now, things to keep in mind. First things first is the concept of modularity. So when it comes to email copy and design, the way you should think about it is through this concept we call modularity. So modularity is about breaking a big thing down into its most fundamental components. Every email can be broken down into the same core individual elements, and these elements make up every single possible email combination out there. I'll cover different modules below, but yeah, email design should be 50 to 100 words max. As I mentioned before, people don't read. If you have a novel, people will immediately close the email for the most part. As I mentioned before, email copy should be concise and to the point, no fancy stuff. Third, turn features into benefits. This is a commonly known copywriting concept, but it is particularly important for e-commerce email marketing, especially if your product sells a specific pain point, right? People don't care about features. They only care about the end result. What's in it for them? What are the benefits? Great example. Instead of like, I don't know, iPod, 2 gigabytes of storage or whatever it is, they have 8,000 songs in your pocket. Couldn't be better than that, right? Fourth, illustrations are better than words, and this is a big one as well. So use tables, infographics, charts, checklists, diagrams, timelines, like this right here, for example. checklist, like product highlights, like benefit highlights and stuff like that, cashew, cocoa powder, peanuts, almonds, freeze, dried berries. It's very easy to consume these types of content instead of like having a wall of text image before, right? Timeline, things like that are actually more engaging than just words, okay? Common. So these are the common e-commerce modules for every single email you send. So first you've got the banner. So this is where your header, first subheader, and first CTA are. So keep it simple and straightforward, convey the message ASAP. Next, we've got the body copy. And this should expand on the banner info, right? If too long, consider a text-based email. Remember, illustrations better than words. Products block can be dynamic or static images. Pretty straightforward section. It only needs a title and price optional. This is where you have the products. Social proof. So use strategic reviews. So reviews, testimonials, PR. Use strategic reviews to handle potential objections. And then fifth, you've got your countdown timers, offer reminders, etc. And guarantees as well. So if you take a look at the email, you'll see that it's pretty much always the same modules, right? Let's take this email right here. So this is the banner, and this is a product feature, right? Product block, if you will. And then these are more product blocks, right? More product blocks. And then these, you've got your kind of guarantees and things like that, right? If I go to another email, banner, body copy here. So it's pretty much always the same modules, right? Guarantee here as well. Next, we've got banner, kind of a product feature, if you will, like product feature block with different products. Banner. I'm just trying to find, yeah, that's, I pretty much, I mean, some social proof. Let's find some social proof here. There we go. So banner, right? Body copy, and then social proof. And then a kind of a infographic here, and then product block. So as you can see, it's always the same modules, but you can combine them differently. For example, if you have like 3 different modules, you can create like 9 different combinations of emails, right? It's always the same thing when it comes to emails. You've got modules, and that's it, right? That this is the concept of modularity, and that's why you need to, again, make sure the copy you create is concise and to the point, pretty much, right? Really, really important. Now, best copy to design process right here. And then, by the way, I'm going to share with you the prompt we actually use to create copy. If this is not like, I mean, just with this info right here, you can create amazing copy already, making sure that, again, you create copy that's short, concise, you turn features into benefits, and then you mostly use illustrations over words, right? That's pretty much what you need to know, right? But let me share with you, let's say you already create your copy. Let me share with you the copy to design process we use at the agency to make sure we convey the copy to the designer, and then she or he can create amazing designs based on the copy we just provided, right? So 3 tips: use Notion or a Google Docs table, right? Be as clear as possible with your instructions, but at the same time, leave some space for creativity. So this is kind of the table we use at the agency. Every email is different, obviously, right? So subject line, preview text, but this is something we provide. This is kind of the design component. So this is where designer takes the copy from and then creates an email around it. So header, subheader, CTA. If you want to have another subheader, great. Body copy, second body copy, CTA. I would say the main ones that we always have are like header, subheader, and CTA. Sometimes we might have, after these 3 right here, we might have another body copy and then another CTA, So you can, of course, delete these rows as you see fit, depends on your email you're sending. If it is only a promotional email, very straightforward with the offer, then a header, subheader, and CTA should be pretty much more than enough, right? So feel free to pause this right here and then copy this table you can actually use for your brand or your agency as well. And then use this with your email designer so she or he can create amazing emails, right? Now, let me dive into useful copywriting frameworks we actually use at the agency every single day. But first things first, why use copywriting frameworks? First things first, they provide structure. So copywriting formulas are invaluable because they provide a structured approach to crafting persuasive messages. 2, of course, they save time. So instead of like searching instead of like starting from scratch, these frameworks help you organize your thoughts and guide your audience. Third, they're psychology driven. So by tapping into psychological triggers like curiosity, pain, or desire, formulas streamline your process and boost engagement, right? Fourth, they're clear and compelling. So in email marketing, where attention spans are short, having a proven structure ensures your message is clear and compelling. It reduces the guesswork, saves time, and just basically increases conversions. Now, let me dive into the actually copywriting formulas we use. First things first, we've got AIDA: attention, interest, desire, and action. So we hook them in, we create interest, desire, and then we have the CTA. So this is kind of what this email follows here, right? Of course, every email, an email can follow multiple frameworks, is not set in stone, right? Especially for e-commerce email marketing. Second, we've got PAS, so problem, agitate, solution. Very, very, very common and popular one. I'd say the most common one for copywriting, right? So you basically start with a problem, agitate the problem, and then provide a solution, which is in your case, your product, right? So how was your dog's mobility today? Did you notice struggling to get up, etc., etc., etc.? Okay. PP, 4Ps, a problem, promise, proof, proposal. So you basically dive into a specific problem first, have a promise, proof, social proof, and then proposal, which is in most cases a CTA to your product or solution, right? Very, very straightforward. And these are very powerful frameworks that actually work really well for e-commerce email marketing. So give it a try for sure. Okay. And by the way, a link to this document is going to be in the description box below. So feel free to basically click there, and then you'll access pretty much everything we have right here, which is pretty good as well. And then you can just keep all these frameworks on deck, and then all the info I've shared so far. So that's quite useful as well. All right. Finally, let me dive into the AI prompt we actually use at the agency to create copy in 10 seconds. This is really powerful. So this is the prompt. Act as a copywriter and write a 50 to 75 design email design for could be the product below with this angle promoting, etc. If it is the product below, you basically paste the product name here and then product description, right? With this, of course, this specific angle you want. The more specific you are, the better. And this is probably, you already know that when it comes to AI. The more specific, the better, right? Writing guidelines, 1 to 2 sentences per paragraph. Make the copy engaging. Write at a 5th grade level English. Make the headlines and subheadlines 4 to 7 words long. Tone of voice, use a casual yet direct tone. Don't use filler words, just keep it direct. By the way, sometimes what we do is we either provide Claude or ChatGPT with the branding guidelines of the client, or we do some web scraping of their social media and web content so we can align with the tone of voice as well, right? Email length, 50 to 75 words. Avoid these words. So unveil, discover, unlock, unravel, dive into, bliss, embrace, embark, unleash, elevate, because this is very AI words. I don't know why. We just hate it. So we just don't use it, right? When writing this email, fill out this template. Of course, change it based on the email you want to create. But for this one, headline, subheadline, call to action, body text, and there should be another call to action below this one. But yeah. This is pretty much the prompt we use. Feel free to again take a screenshot of this and then use it for your brand and or agency clients as well. So yeah, hopefully this was valuable. If you found value in this video right here, don't forget to drop a like and a comment. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm so we can get to more email marketers and then improve their email marketing. Now, if you're running an e-commerce brand doing over 50K per month right now and you want a high-performing email marketing team to handle your retention marketing, we're more than happy to help you and put together a specific plan of attack and audit for your account. So if that's the case, feel free to go into the description box below, and then you'll find my calendar link. Click there, and you can find a time that works for you for a call together. So yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.